Hi everyone, this is Phoenix. First, I want to say I'm super sorry. This was recorded back in early March. It is now probably April by the time I get this up on the internet, and we have a lot of things that are not relevant anymore in the episode. I shouldn't say a lot of things. It's really just the COVID-19 situation going on. Since March has escalated in the United States to be a full-out pandemic, and it has gotten a lot worse. At the time of the recording, it wasn't that bad. We were just letting you guys know not to panic. Now, I still think that is a relevant thing to say. It's not to panic, but we do understand that it has escalated since our talk the last time. I'm sure we'll get more into that in the second episode. But for now, please enjoy this pilot episode of Geeky Cheekies. And again, sorry that it came out so late and some of this stuff is not relevant anymore. Alright, bye bye. Again, start.
Okay. Well, I already pressed the record button, but
Okay.
well, no, I just did it. So, or like a couple seconds ago. So,
Oh, okay.
okay. So, all right. I guess let's begin. Yay for being awkward. This is perfect for us,
Yeah.
I guess.
Well, I mean, we're both A, awkward, and B, we're still trying to figure things out. But hi, people! Hello, cheekies!
Hello, internet of the
Hello,
world.
internet! First off, welcome to Geeky Cheekies. Let's start with a quick introduction because I'm pretty much unknown. Jenny, I don't know if you have a lot of people, but I'm Phoenix, or LadyStoryweaver, or really, you can think of a name and I'm most likely going to respond to it because I'm that kind of person.
And I am Jenny, and I just do stuff.
Do stuff.
I guess I'm known.
More than me.
Okay. Let's see.
Well, you're a mod for Jeff, aka Space Hamster. You did more streaming than I do because I am very bad at planning. Very, very bad at planning.
It's okay. I mean, like trying to in general, trying to lay down all the groundwork, because streaming takes a lot of planning, but we'll get into that another time.
Yeah. let's get into all that later.
Let's see, what do you like?
I mean, other than obviously this is going to be a podcast relating to pop culture, so I'm into video games. I like animation. I really like animation. And manga and comics, and I'm very typical geek girl. Let's see, if I want to get more specific, I'm kind of more toward I like Persona, I like Pokemon, which is kind of the topic for today, but we'll get into that later. I really feel like I have a very broad and rounded interests, because I just look at something and I say, hey, I'm kind of interested in that right now. Let me consume all of it and then go on to the next thing.
Let's see. Honestly, thinking what do I like? I'm like, well, obviously I like nerdy and geeky stuff. But I also like ice cream and sleep.
Oh yeah, I have a major sweet tooth.
And sometimes my husband.
And sometimes the husband.
Oh man. Anyway, so what did you do this week?
Oh, well, I'm starting this whole thing. Okay. Anyway, no, I do want to mention before we continue on to what I did this week is that because I feel like this is going to be gonna help people understand at least my thought process and everything is that I want to just get out there right now that I have high functioning autism. My
Mm-hmm.
thought process isn't on the same wavelength as others. That's based. I think that's a really great best way for me to describe it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so if I ever say something that seems kind of odd or doesn't make quite a lot of sense to other people, you guys
Mm-hmm.
know why. Jenny's just kind of used to me by now, so she understands like my thought process and understands where I'm trying to come from, and you're pretty good at least I think, Jenny, that you will be like, I have no idea what you're talking about. Please elaborate.
Oh, okay, that's good. Because sometimes I feel like when, like in general, not just you, but in general, sometimes like I'll jump into like conversation on like online, and I'm just like, I think I'm missing something. I know I'm supposed to say something. You know what? I'll just ask. Hey. so, so yeah. But it's good to know, or I'm glad to know that at least you don't get annoyed when I'm just like, wait, what? Wait,
Yeah.
what?
No, and it's totally because I know that my thought process isn't quite
Mhm.
in line with I don't want to say normal people, but like of the general population. I'm gonna say more than normal because what's normal nowadays.
Mhm.
Um, and so like honestly, like you understand like I feel like with you at least understand kind of the grasp I'm trying to get at, but you don't quite understand where I'm going with it. So whenever you ask to clarify, it's usually very like I just did not understand this one part. So I feel like we're pretty in sync.
Yeah.
Um and I feel like that will be like we'll definitely talk about maybe mental health in the future because I feel like that is a topic that has been done in games, movies, stuff like that. But for today, that's not what we're talking about. We're not going to be too serious right off the bat. We want to do something kind of fun, especially with what's going on in the world this week.
Yeah, and
So
also it's our pilot episode too,
yeah,
so we're just trying to kind of get our footing a bit, kind of see like if this just like kind of like meander and see how it goes, and then kind of
yeah,
as we go along, because we are planning to do more of these, kind of like fine tune it. So yeah, if you're
yeah.
listening to our very first episode, welcome and
Welcome.
thank you.
And if you listen to our most recent one and we're doing a lot better, that's good to know. Please let us know if you notice a difference because I like knowing this. And I like pointing out to other people, I'm like, hey, you guys improved so much.
Yeah.
Like one of the things I did this week, this is relating to what I've done this week anyway, is that I started getting into this YouTube channel called Jinja Ninja OWO,
Mm.
and she's an animator on YouTube. She's really good. She's really funny. She seems like a really sweet girl. I haven't really got too deep into her videos. Like I found one where she was talking about buying used items on eBay, where I'm like, that's a mood, especially with clothes. Um, oh, what was my point to all this? Oh, yes, I remember now. So she mentioned one of her videos, one of her older or one of her more recent videos. She mentioned that she had one of her friends in high school way back in the day, and I looked on her channel. I'm like, oh hey, that video's still there. Let me take a look. And her art has improved so much. When you look at that video was talking about in her current video or recent video versus now,
Mhm.
it's one of those things where it's like, Ray, if you're listening, you have improved. I am totally a fan. I love your personality. You're very upbeat, and I love that. And she kind of actually reminds me of me at times because she's so hyper. I was like,
Oh.
oh my gosh, is it me? Am I secretly a ginger haired girl? And I think she's in Texas. In Texas.
Oh.
um, other than that, I played a lot of Lego games.
Hey, don't knock on it. Lego games are pretty like cool. I mean,
Yeah, no, I'm laughing at myself because it's like I wanted to play other games, but I'm like, nah, let me go play some Legos.
Hey,
and they're pretty fun. They are
yeah.
pretty fun.
Oh yeah. Like I think let's see. I usually for Lego games I only really play like the demo.
Hmm.
And for me I tend to play those when I feel kind of destructive cuz you have to like smash stuff
Yeah.
sometimes.
Well, and I think I was telling you where it's like for me, like whenever I've noticed that whenever I'm not feeling mentally well, which has been the case the last week or two,
Mhm.
um, because I'm in between. I'm trying to go into my new psychiatrist later this month. Hopefully, I'll be able to.
Mhm.
And my medication is not quite working, so my brain is like functioning, then malfunctioning, then so on and so
Mhm.
forth. Um, but that those games they don't take a lot of mental power to do.
Yeah.
And even the older games where they don't have voice acting like the newer games do, which is I definitely want to do a let's play of the Jurassic games because I cannot describe the quality in audio between between those games. It's like I cannot do it justice on here. If anyone has played them, they know what I'm talking about. It sounds like it came straight from the movie, and you can tell like the dip in audio quality.
Ah.
um but yeah, no, and like the older games, if I play those, they don't have any like I don't have to read anything, which is good for me when I just want to relax and play a game. Like I mentally don't have to focus on reading things because if I play a game and there's text and I'm not feeling well, I'm just gonna skip it. I'm not gonna know what the hell is going on. So, um, I also played last night. I played a lot of My Time at Portia because I it's been a while and
Mhm.
they updated finally on the Switch to have the voice actors in it, but it also feels like there's sometimes working and sometimes not. I don't know if that's a glitch. I don't know what is going on. I hope they get that fixed because I really do like the game.
Mhm.
And the quality the quality is good when it's actually working, then other times it's just like haha, you thought there's gonna be voice acting here, you were wrong.
Aw. I
Um yeah.
I only played a little bit of My Time with Portia, but I think that was around the time I had an older computer and it couldn't like
Oh yeah.
run a ton of stuff. So, yeah, I probably should
I'm
look into it again sometime in the future.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time getting it to run well on my desktop. And I don't know if I'm just not doing the configuring correctly because like it works fine whenever I'm in like your
Mhm.
house when you start the game. But whenever I walk outside, it's just so open world. I feel like the game is or like my computer can't handle how much it's trying to process at once.
Mhm.
Even though it is a big beefy computer.
Mhm.
Other than that, I what else did I do this week? I read a lot of House Moving Castle. I talked to you about that, Jenny, but
Yeah, I didn't know that there was a book.
that
Like,
w- well, it was originally based off a book. I can forget the woman's name who wrote it.
no what?
Um, it is from like I think she's Welsh. Either that, she's definitely British. If not that. But anyway, I was reading it, and it actually is surprising how very close the movie did with the original source, but it also is very different. Like there's a character in the book called whose name is Michael. He is 15 in the books, but in the movie he's that little kid,
Mhm.
the assistant who's like, I'm gonna guess at the oldest 10. So they definitely changed him a bit, but it works well for that movie. And from what I remember, I could be wrong about this. I'll have to double check. The author of the original book, Diane Wayne Jones,
Mhm.
she actually really liked how it was done because even though it took her source material, used a lot of it, but made it very Hal or very not Hal, sorry, very Miyazaki.
Ah.
Does that make sense?
Kinda. Like, okay, so I'm like not the typical like geek as or nerd because I mean like I will keep up with like a lot of stuff, but like Miyazaki's stuff wasn't like I'll see that like all the like trailers and stuff for it, and then
Hmm.
I kind of go, oh yeah, I should watch it, and then it never happens.
Oh, dude, whenever we hang out, which by the way, I'm in Colorado, Jenny's in California. We're not in the same state. We're doing this over the internet.
Yeah, I mean, like, I have eventual plans to travel. Not like probably not right now as I'm going to school.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, there. We'll talk about it later
Yeah, well,
though.
yeah. No, that's a discussion for another time. But yeah, no, that I have a lot of them, and that's because I really Miyazaki. I've watched his stuff since I was a really little kid. My favorite movie was Kiki's Delivery Service, like
Aww.
Prim's was. Um, or I call her Prim. I call her Millie. I'm gonna call her a lot of different things, but you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, I do.
Um, and like, yeah, it's always just been a part of my life, and I will definitely. There's a question that I have for later in the podcast that we will discuss more about that. Um, and then last thing I did was I I spent a lot of money on a laptop and a drawing tablet because I want to get back into drawing. And I'm not very good at traditional art, honestly. I did a lot better when I had like a tablet laptop back when I was in high school.
Mhm.
So I think it's just because of just my autism, I feel like I think this is what contributes it. But whenever I make a mistake on like a traditional piece that I can't like really easily erase, like painting, I'm good at painting, and that's because I could cover it with a slab of paint later. Um, but when it comes to digital stuff, it's just easier to be like, okay, I messed up. Let me just Control Z that. Pretend it never happened.
Oh no, I understand. I feel like the same way. Was it because sometimes I draw, but like I prefer drawing on like on the iPad I have.
Yeah,
Just because it makes life easier for me. But you know, like and also for me because since I tend to travel a lot, I would carry all I really would have to carry is just the iPad and the Apple
yeah,
Pencil. I don't have to worry about trying to bring like everything like but that's personally like for me.
yeah.
Let's
Yeah,
see.
the tablet I got, I believe it's like I'm gonna have to actually look at it because they're saying, "Oh yeah, it's portable," and then it's like, "Oh, but you have to hook it up to a laptop," and that's not why I got the laptop. The laptop was because I just really needed one, and I like being able to take my laptop and go like to a coffee shop and just get a new um place to work so I can focus on stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird. Um,
I don't know. Sometimes you don't want to be at home and or like you feel like
you'll get distracted.
you'll yeah or well you can even get distracted when you're outside but basically sometimes you just need a little change of scenery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Exactly. And yeah, and I spent a lot of money on that, and I'm not gonna go too far into that.
Hey,
Well,
that's hmm?
what did you do with your week?
Let's see. Well, I work. Uh,
Same
work.
here.
School. I'm taking 4 programming classes at the same time.
Oh, I
Rip,
forgot about that.
rip me, but you know what?
Yep,
I signed up for that, and yeah,
you reap what you sow.
yeah, and I've been hunting eBay listings for Animal Crossing amiibo cards. I have a
Why not
friend
Amazon?
like well I tried but like I was able to buy like complete sets of the amiibo cards on eBay.
Oh,
Yeah, because like before like basically yeah, I just spent like a bunch of money on that and time on just like searching for that. But I'll tell you my escapades another time for of the Animal Crossing cards because
I think next podcast will be the best one to do it.
yeah, because I'm just waiting on one listing right now, and it's like the basically like the auction's gonna end soon, so I'm kind of hoping. That's me right now. But yeah, over. But other than that, yeah, like yeah, the rest of the week was kind of boring, just like work and school. Let's see.
You
Uh,
didn't like you didn't go do anything or see anything, or something very big happened in life.
I mean, yeah, I did get married on the 29th, but honestly,
Yay!
my when I think like the week, I think like from Sunday, March 1st to like Saturday, March 7th. That's kind of like when I think like
Okay.
the week. So that's why I didn't initially say, "Oh yeah, I got married." Because I'm just
I
like because like for me internally my head when I think like
yeah.
the week starts Sunday and it ends Saturday, so yeah.
That's true. That
but
is true.
but no, everyone's different. I know some people that have like, oh, the weekend start or the week starts Monday from them and then ends on Sunday, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Because
But
it's weekend, but yeah, no. I no, normally I do too, but like because this is the first episode, I'm like, you did do something else. I know this is technically more than a week ago, but
I know, which is fair. And for me, I was just like, oh yeah, yeah,
yeah, that was the thing.
that was totally a thing.
And so you and I definitely share very similar things when it comes to marriage. I don't know how far you want to go into this with on the podcast. But like obviously you're not being like, oh my god, I got married, like like all that stuff, like a normal typical newlywed wife type of thing. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
But
Hmm.
it's not because you don't. It's not. It's just because it's just like this is just a step in life. It's not like and
Yeah.
you've known this guy forever too.
Yeah. Like, we met when I was like in college, like back at like 2008. But that's that. I feel like that should be saved for like a story time or something we
Okay.
could do because yeah, co- like younger college Jenny was a bit like different from
Yeah.
current Jenny. So
Well, current Jenny also has her brain completely developed, while college Jenny did not.
yeah, all that alcohol, man.
I college for you is definitely very different from me. I did not drink.
Ah, yeah. Oh
I
man.
was too good. I was too much of a good girl.
Oh, I mean, I mean, it's understandable. When I finally drank, I was just like, I don't get it, but okay. But anyways,
I always I always just went to the beat of my own drummer by college at least. That's also a story for another time.
yeah, we should probably do some like story time podcasts and stuff, or like well, I mean,
Well, we'll talk about that later. I actually
yeah.
have some ideas, but for now let's
Let's just move on.
yeah, let's move on. Sorry guys, we will definitely share our ideas later, but for right now,
Yeah.
let's continue on with the news. We did talk like quite a bit about current events and how and all that stuff. Sorry if I'm like bulldozing over what you were trying to say, Jenny.
Oh no, no, no worries. I was just trying to think like how do we get into the news during the week? If you can't tell, I mean, we made it clear earlier that this is something new and
Yeah,
unstructured or somewhat structured, but
I made somewhat structured. Um, and I kind of just go with anything that I can find that like broke during this week or something that was kind of interesting coming up. And right now, I think a big topic is the coronavirus, which
Mhm.
we're not going to touch too far into this, guys. I just want to say that um right now I think it's up to 8 cases in Colorado. I think maybe more since I last looked. Let me check.
Mm.
But I do want to just say super quick, really, guys, let's not
Panic.
yeah, like let's not panic. panicking is going to make it worse for us, economy wise, like us, like the nation freaking out and mass buying all this stuff. It's just going to raise prices, and it's not going to be good for us after the pandemic is gone. And every 100 years, it seems like, at least from what I've done a little research on, there is some kind of crazy thing that happens that wipes out a million people, and we survived before we had internet and all this modern technology.
Mm. Well, basically, for me, when it comes to the coronavirus, I can understand why people are freaking out, and I feel like that then you should like inform what is going on, but I feel like also people should have like a straight, I think I'm using the right word or terminology, a straight head or a clear head when
Yeah.
like when all this is going down, because you know like I don't try to watch the news too often, but like just, or well, not even, not that. I lie. I lied about that. I do try to watch the news, but not like as often as other people, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
Nor do I like checking my Facebook, or because
I don't
like
either.
people are like posting I'm more particular about Facebook, like
People
people.
are people people are just insane on Facebook. Let's just go there.
Well, no, just like people panicking about the virus and posting pictures about people like out like buying a ton of resources and stuff, and I'm just like, I mean, I'm sure we'll be fine.
Remember, so my brother goes to an international school. My brother is 17.
Mhm.
Um and he has friends who are currently in Europe. Right now apparently they're in the Swiss Alps and they're okay, so that's good.
Mhm.
But as I was telling you, Jenny, like they were sending him pictures where grocery stores in Italy had like zero food on the shelves.
Ew, that's not good.
Yeah, Liv. Oh, I love Liv. So we have a friend called whose username is called Liv Hive. I call him Liv or Livy, and
Mhm.
he said, "No, no, no pasta." When I told him, I was like, "Oh my god, Livy, goddamn, I love you, but goddamn
Oh man, I love Liv.
I do too."
He's pretty cool.
He's a chill dude. He's very funny. We'll eventually have him on the show with us, I think.
If he wants to, you
Yeah, if he
know.
wants to. That's not a hey, Liv, we're gonna trick you onto the podcast. This is to say, hey Liv, we want you to come on eventually because we think you would probably drive me insane, but I love you to death either way.
So yeah, we'll like I said, we'll figure something out.
Yeah.
uh, hmm?
Oh, I
What?
was just gonna say, but like just kind of round up for me, it's like it's good to be aware, it's good to be um cautious about the whole thing, but not to be freaking out. If you take the public transportation, just wash your hands, be careful where you touch, be aware of who's around you. If anyone's is sick, don't be near them or try not to be near them. And just take precautions like you would during flu season.
Mm. Yeah, I mean that's it. Like I like honestly, I just don't have anything else to add. Just like cool,
Yeah,
it's happening.
it is happening, and I just felt like we should at least touch on it very briefly
Mhm.
because people are freaking out, and just like throw in our 2 cents,
Mhm.
especially since my current job, I work in a health insurance company,
Mhm.
and you know it's honestly, we're not freaking out yet.
Mhm.
I'm not gonna say which one I work at because I don't need people trying to find me.
Oh, that's
But
fair.
but um right now, we're pretty calm about it. We have a plan for, if anyone does get sick, at least with the health insurance company I work for, we're
Mhm.
gonna work with the doctors and with law enforcement as much as possible. We're keeping an eye on if any new vaccines or
Mhm.
treatments come available. We're gonna look into those. Those are our top priority right now. So just be aware that like even if your state feels like it's not
Mm-hmm.
what's the word I'm looking for? Um
Mm, huh.
Kind of passive about the whole thing. I think that's the best wording for it.
Yeah, I think that's the best way.
So if you feel like your state is passive about the whole thing, just know that like at like or your government, that's where the your government
Mm-hmm.
is being passive about it.
Mm-hmm.
Just know that at least like healthcare officials and
Mm-hmm.
especially the insurance companies, if you're worried about how much it's going to cost, are looking into ways to make this less of a financial burden,
Mm-hmm.
and so that you don't have to worry about, you know,
Mm-hmm.
about like, oh, is the health or is the hospitals ready? And they are. I feel like a lot of them are. At least Colorado has been.
Huh. Yeah. I'm not gonna comment too much about like California, because mainly because like it's like all
You
over.
guys have weird. You guys have weird laws. I'm not gonna. I hate. I'm sorry. I hate California um policies whenever I have to look at them because they make no damn sense.
I mean, yeah, I'm not gonna get. I'm not. Look, I'm not. I'm not part of, or how can I put it?
You're not a part of like unlike me who works in health insurance. You're not a part of anything like that, or with laws, or with
Mm-hmm.
medical
Mm-hmm.
anything.
Yeah, but let us move on from the sadness.
Let's move on to something a little. Well, I mean, it's actually related, and I didn't plan this to be related. The Last of Us is The Last of Us is having a Hulu TV adaptation,
Mm-hmm. Is
and
it?
it is about a virus.
Wait. Is it Hulu or was it
Oh,
HBO?
maybe it was HBO, and
Uh,
I'm thinking Hulu because it started with an H.
Hold on. Let me see. Um, cause I didn't know about that
HBO, yes,
till it's HBO.
yes.
Okay. No,
It
cause
starts with an H, so I just didn't think of it. So it autocorrect
okay, no worries.
incorrectly.
Yeah, like so I didn't know that there was one coming up like at all, or that there were talks about it. And I think so I always get like a little nervous about like game adaptations, or like basically any adaptation, like,
Yeah,
like movie adaptation or show adaptation or whatever. But I think just because of HBO's like reputation of making like
really
good,
good adaptations.
well,
Like,
yeah, and just like good content in general. Like I'm just like, oh, okay, I see them, like I can see this adaptation doing well, but like
mm-hmm.
um but I'm just kind of like curious on who's working on it. Like who's on there, or like did they announce like who the producers are yet, or anything like that?
I think if I remember correctly, I'll double check the drawer. I think it's the director.
Okay.
He is they did HBO's Chernobyl, which was really good. I
Okay.
watched the first episode, and like I'm a big history buff, so that's one of the topics I know quite a lot about, and I will go into
Mhm.
forever about and debate about.
Mhm.
And they did really good. And honestly, I think with not just with Sonic, but the Witcher series on Netflix, which was really good.
Mhm.
I haven't finished it yet, but from all the ones I've watched, all the episodes I've watched, really good, very funny. I loved the show.
um and I don't know, like maybe I'll finally get HBO Go and watch it, but yeah, like I don't know, like I'm just curious to see, like I said, I'm curious to see, like, oh,
Yeah, it's a
how
gamble.
yeah, like how closely are they gonna follow the game, and or the story of the game and all that noise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They probably will go. I believe that Last of Us has a canonical like timeline of events, so they're
Okay.
probably gonna be following that.
Okay. 'Cause I was curious about that too because I personally for me those kind of like The Last of Us like games like that have like kind of a horror element to it. I kind of go I'm not particularly fond of them. And I'll watch other people play it,
Yeah,
but I won't play it.
I I'm a wimp too. Don't worry. But Last of Us, I remember it being very good. This was, of course, 6 or 7 years ago that the game came out, so I don't
Mhm.
quite remember everything. But I feel like if they're gonna be going with the canonical
Mhm.
timeline of events,
Mhm.
then I think they'll do pretty good with it, you know?
Yeah, I think so too. But do you have they announced a release date yet
Not
or
as far as I'm aware. Let me double check really quick. I
uh,
didn't see it when I was looking into it.
okay. Yeah, like uh I was not or I wasn't sure if they announced anything or anything like that yet.
I think they only told us who is. I don't think they do because people are saying, "Oh, here's the actors I want to be
Okay.
Joel and
Okay.
what's her name? Emma? I don't think it's Emma. I feel
Okay.
like it's Emma, but I don't think it's actually Emma.
Okay.
Ellie.
Ellie?
Yes, her name's Ellie.
Okay. All right. Well, let's hope. Hopefully in the future they'll we'll
We'll
know
be
more
able
in
to
the
talk about it.
future. Yeah, and maybe talk about it. Now, here's my question because
Mhm.
we're on the topic of video or like movie and TV adaptations of video games. What about
Mhm.
Sonic the Hedgehog? Like,
Uh,
have you?
oh my god, I haven't seen it yet. I really want to see it.
It's okay.
I I really want to see it mostly because I wasn't big on Sonic growing up.
Mhm.
Um, but I did like the character. He seemed really cool.
Mhm.
And this I'm not surprised now that they fixed that whatever that was before, that Sonic design.
Mhm.
Use quotation marks by the way.
So I did not grow up watching or like, playing like any Sonic games or anything like that. My whole or where
Mhm.
growing up I had like yeah, I wasn't actually really big into gaming either. Like, yeah, we had like an NES and a Nintendo 64, but like I yeah, I wasn't really into it until like so I did never play or I never played like the Sonic games or anything like that. But I've always seen like I think commercials for like the cartoon or like I
Yeah.
don't know some product and I thought, "Oh, that's pretty cool." Personally for me, just because I don't have that connection, like I wouldn't I didn't want to see it or I had like real no real interest of seeing it. I mean, like also when it comes to movies, like I tend to wait until it's on like DVD or streaming because
Yeah.
I tend I can't really sit in a movie theater and just like watch for like
I'm the exact opposite.
but yeah but that's personally for me and like yeah that being said, as someone who never grew up with like Sonic playing Sonic games and had no real interest to see a movie. The
Mhm.
the design of the character was terrible. God it was
Uncanny Valley.
it was god awful. Like, well, I mean, in general to me I find the this particular style of like, 3D animation, I guess, or like
CGI.
the CGI very like like I don't
Unnerving.
Well, I don't like it. I don't have the exact words for it, but I'm just like, I don't like it. But, you know, nah,
Part of
like.
Uncanny Valley, basically.
But no, the original Sonic design was terrible. I don't know who thought that was a great idea? And I feel bad for everyone that had to like redo
Redo it.
all of it and like
It
crunch.
looks better. It looks a lot better though.
Yeah,
Like
it does look a lot better. Like,
it kind of reminds me of like you know the older Disney movies that had like the
mhm.
cartoon in the real world thing.
Uh-huh.
Like it kind of reminded me of that.
Okay. Like
Well, I mean the newer version, not the old one. The old one looks like it should be part of a horror movie.
yeah, I don't know. Like maybe like I don't know. I feel like that kind of design choices like I feel like if I feel like it just came suddenly. But then again,
Yeah,
like I'm not like a movie buff or anything like that, so I haven't been like like maybe we gradually got there and then, I'm just seeing like this type of style more or what, but I just think like all of that's weird and maybe like I kind of hoping it would die down eventually, but
well, if you think of it, with the Detective Pikachu movie, if you look at the original Sonic design and then put it against the Pikachu, it looks really similar
mhm.
in design. So it felt like they were trying to make it more like Detective Pikachu stylized in
Mhm.
the style way, but it does not work for Sonic. Like
Okay.
it works great for Pokemon because they can make them a little more
Mhm.
realistic and make them look like they are supposed to be in
The real
our
world.
world.
Uh huh.
Yeah. But with Sonic, his design is just too cartoony to do that.
Okay.
You need to do a cartoony look, and that's why the newer design for Sonic works a lot better.
Okay.
Even though it's like you could tell he doesn't quite belong, it also works out because he's supposed to be from another world.
Okay.
From what I understand of the movie, it's like he's supposed to be from another world anyway, so it works out that way.
Mhm. Okay. Well, I don't know. Do you know if they're gonna be doing a sequel? Cause I kind of saw something on Twitter.
I think there's talks, but I mean, the movie just came out last month. I don't think they're going to announce anything quite yet.
Okay. You'll be
Because
so.
this could just be we don't even know if like the box office success
Mhm.
was because of just because people want to say this. I'm going to go to see this movie because you guys actually did a good thing and changed the character design because that
Mhm.
was gonna not give people nightmares or at least kids nightmares.
Uh huh. I don't know. I went. Well, personally, I didn't think the character. The back to the character. I didn't. I personally didn't think it was like nightmare fuel, but it was just like not aesthetically pleasing and like
Yeah,
very different from obviously very different from its source material. So,
yeah.
uh
But I mean, like literally, if you look at the old Sonic, oh, I forgot he had teeth too. Ugh.
oh, he did.
Yeah, like it's too realistic, and they were definitely trying to go for something more toward Pokemon style, Pokemon Detective Pikachu style,
Uh-huh.
rather than this is Sonic. It's just I'm jokingly calling it Nightmare Fuel, but it's very creepy looking.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. So you have Pokemon.
Speaking about Pokemon, our topic for today. So
40.
how we for what?
What? No, it's just like we're finally getting into our topic.
Finally getting to the topic. So yeah, so what our so I feel like because this is the first episode, let's explain just a little bit.
Mhm,
Every episode we want to try to do it like a main topic, and well, we're going to talk about a little bit of news stuff
uh-huh,
beforehand.
mhm.
Just to talk about anything that kind of piques our interest. If we don't have any news topics, then we just skip it. We'll just go straight to the topic. I feel like.
Yeah.
But it's just to kind of have like a let's focus on one topic and discuss it and dissect it and see
Mhm.
what our thoughts are.
Uh-huh. Yeah, and like I said at the beginning, we're just like trying to figure it out, you know.
Yeah.
So, yeah, thank you for like I said, thank you for sticking out this far.
Oh, people. I mean, people probably like us. Some people like us, like, or not us specifically, but like other creators, just kind of talking like that, like going over the news and talking about our opinions about them and whatnot.
Hmm.
But we're gonna try to figure out as we go and develop how we're
Well,
going to do these segments.
I mean, like, you could probably cut this out from the podcast. What I'm gonna say, I feel like we have to find our own style. I guess, like, we could
Yeah,
do similar formats, but our style should be a bit like more curated to us.
yeah,
Like,
and like because we're just starting,
mhm,
that's why I kind of based it a little bit off of stuff I've seen before,
mhm.
but
Wait,
tried to do.
wait. I'm sorry. I like what I was trying to say, which is fair, but like,
Yeah.
yeah. So, Pokemon.
Pokemon.
We'll get better with our transitions, I swear.
Oh no, you did really good with the Sonic one. I was gonna even point it out, but I just decided not to.
No worries.
um, so with Pokemon, so Pokemon is one of those games that has been around for over 20 years now. God, I'm
Forever.
old.
Oh my gosh, you feel old. That makes me
The,
kind of wonder, because I'm older than you.
not by much.
Okay, but still. Yeah, like, I remember Pokemon when it first came out. I think I was in, like 8 or 9 when they first came out, and just remember, like, all my neighbors had trading cards, and I was
Yep.
like so confused on what to do, like, or how, like, they got those cards, and like no one told me. And I'm 8, and like, or 9 or whatever. I was a kid, and it's like, what? Where the hell do I get these cards? Like, and then, like,
I
I
want
eventually,
them.
yeah, like, I want to get one and be cool and like trade Pokemon cards because there's cute ones out there, and yeah, like, I remembered I bought like my first and only like like starter deck from like an or KB Toys, I think, or it might have been an eBay or EV Games. I don't know. Both of those were in the mall that in the town I used to live at, and
Hmm.
yeah, one of those stores I bought like the packs, and yeah, started trading.
uh, yeah, that sounds about the right age because I remember getting Pokemon Yellow. That was my first Pokemon game when I was about
Ah.
7. And I had the yellow Game Boy Color too. I
Oh.
wish I knew what happened to that.
Oh, nice. My first game, like, if we're talking about the video game, it wasn't
I'm just talking
till
about in general.
it was I never played Pokemon, like, the original Pokemon games. It wasn't until like Pokemon X when I got my like 3DS and stuff that I started playing again, and or
Oh,
like,
really?
yeah, well, yeah, or not, like, playing video games in general again.
Oh,
But
okay.
like, but Pokemon X was my first game that I played, and
Hmm.
I had a lot of fun with it, and like, and for me, like, I felt like there was like so much to do, and
Yes.
I just remember finding out about like the national decks around that time, because I was
Hmm.
like, I know every region has like their because I was out of Pokemon or like out of like the whole thing with Pokemon for a very long time. So when I like jumped back in, or when I jumped back into Pokemon and then started playing X, I was like wondering, like, oh, like, how, like, I know there's like 700 Pokemon, like, how does that work in this game, like, with all
Oh, you didn't understand like
I didn't understand like region, Like,
Okay.
yeah, like I went in it completely blind, and then finding out, oh, there's like a national dex I can complete, and then finding out like how to complete it, I was just like, oh man, I don't have friends. Or I
I
should
had
say,
brother.
I
I
don't
had
have
brother.
friends that were like into Pokemon at that point, because like this was before I joined like the communities in Discord or anything like that. So I was
Well,
just
Discord wasn't even around during that time.
yeah, but like
Yeah, I get what you mean, though.
yeah, so I'm kind of like, oh wow, like I guess I'll never complete the national dex, but ever. Yeah, so I don't know, like so you mentioned about playing Pokemon Yellow. Have you played all the games?
Okay, yeah, I was definitely I really don't remember too much from like elementary school days. I don't know if I got all of them or if I got like one for every generation or whatever. But I
Mhm.
do remember playing,
Mhm.
the Pokemon Advance, that's not what it's called. The Game Boy Advance,
Mhm.
having that, um having all of those games that came out for that system. And then when it got to the DS, that's when I started expanding my interest into other
Mhm.
games because I was about middle school at that point.
Mhm.
So I got I either got Diamond or Pearl, I can't remember which one.
Mhm.
And then I did not play Black or White because that's when I started getting like Pokemon fatigue.
Uh-huh.
And then after and then after that it took I after that it took like X and Y and Pokemon Sun and Moon for me to get back into the series, and now I want to get Let's Go Pikachu. I have Let's Go Eevee.
Mhm.
I have Sword and Shield. Like I'm back into it now.
Which one's your favorite though? Like,
Oh, which game?
yeah,
I really like I do love Sword and Shield, and I'm just biased about that though because I am
Mhm.
because I'm like I have some Irish in me. I love the United Kingdom, so it's just like I'm just super biased about that. My favorite one was definitely I did like X and Y because they gave you like
Mhm.
oh because Sycamore, the
Mhm.
professor there, was like, "Oh, here's your starter Pokemon. Oh, you know what? I'll give you a Squirtle, Bulbasaur, or a Charmander. Oh, do you want a?" He gave you more starters than just the region
Mm.
one, and that's what I really liked about that one. And I also really liked, I really did like the last few installments. That's where, like I said, I got back into it.
Mhm.
And that is because I either liked, Sycamore giving you more starter Pokemon than just the region that you're in.
Mhm.
Sun and Moon, I
Mhm.
like their structure of not having gyms, but
Mhm.
having the trials
Mhm.
and that just being different. And then for Sword and Shield, I personally liked how I didn't feel like I was actually alone going through
Mhm.
these trials or going through these gym battles.
Mhm.
I had other characters around me who are going through the same trials, and you get to know when they kind of fell off or when they finally found like their calling, like with Fluffy Face. What's his name? What did I call him? Draco? No, I called
What
him
is his actual name though? What's
Babe,
it?
Babe or Baby, BB,
Beatty, I think.
BB, BB. Hang
Beatty.
on,
Okay.
BB, Bidet, Bidet.
Okay. Is that how you pronounce it? Because I kept calling him Beatty. Like
Well,
thinking.
I think it's pronounced bidet. I think it's kind of French. It
uh,
sounds fairly French, don't you think?
Probably. I just like think bidet like those bidets and that is used in like bathrooms. But yeah, let's see. For me, I want to say Shield is my favorite, but I don't have like the history with Pokemon because I know some people
Yeah,
it like had a problem with Shield and you know the national decks and all that. But personally for me, like I really enjoyed Shield. Um and I think it's my favorite, like my all-time
yeah.
favorite. But my second favorite I want to say is Pokemon Sun because that's actually the first Pokemon game and like one of the few games in general I have actually completed.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like I like did like I'm one of those that like will play a game for a while and then I will eventually get bored. So I will um I'll
That's
stop
it.
playing like even no matter how close I am. Like it actually infuriates some people
Yeah.
like but like with Sun, like I just remember going through the trials and then I'm like, oh okay, like then doing the backstory and then I actually completed the Pokedex for that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like cuz I felt like, oh, I don't have to worry about like 800 Pokemon.
Fair enough.
So yeah, like I did all that. I didn't do shiny
Nice.
hunting though. Oddly
That's
enough.
fine.
Yeah.
I think that's just taking it to the next level.
Yeah. I mean, some of the shiny Pokemon look really cute, but also I'm lazy. Uh,
I have to say, I was one of those kids growing up, and I definitely know I was the weird kid for this. I would read 4 books at once
what?
because I had the a really bad attention span where I will be like going through a book and be like, I'm bored with this and pick up another one.
Hmm.
And I would just rotate out the books until I finish one and then add a new one. And that's kind of what I do with games, I've noticed. Is that I will pick up if I have really long games, like I am gonna eventually go back into Final Fantasy 15.
Hmm.
Eventually. I don't
I
it's been a
mean,
while.
that's fair. I mean, like I actually stopped playing Pokemon Shield for a bit just because I've been like playing other or I want to play other games, you
Yeah.
know. So and you know that fatigue, like you know, playing
Yeah.
like no matter how long a game is, like you or like you'll hit that and heck, that's how I feel about Stardew Valley sometimes, but that's a different story.
That's a story for another time.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, out of all the 800 and something Pokemon there are now, do you have a favorite?
Eevee!
Uh
Oh my god. No, okay. Evolutions have always been my favorite. They will forever be my favorite, and
huh.
no one will tell me otherwise.
Hmm.
I don't even know why. I think it's just because it's fluffy and cute, and I love it.
No, no, that's fair. I do like Eevee and the evolutions, but oddly enough, I like after kind of like sitting down and thinking about who my favorite Pokemon are, or
Hmm.
I'm just like I can't really call Eevee my favorite. I just think it's fascinating that an Eevee has like so many evolution forms. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, like to me, I'm just like, oh, yeah, that's actually pretty cool. And I think I had like a trainer or a character that I made them like an EV like evolution trainer of some sort.
Oh, cute.
But yeah, like let's see. For me, like my favorites, I want to say is like Dratini because it was like one of the first Pokemon cards I got.
Oh,
Yeah, Gardevoir is
or which one is that one?
Gardevoir? It isn't fun. I like I'm very bad at explaining.
Just send me a picture.
Okay, like it's that. Okay, it's the fairy Pokemon.
That
Like it's a fairy like psychic Pokemon that's uh man, I'm like I it's hard for me to explain what a Pokemon looks like, but no,
yeah,
no.
let me.
In general, it's kind of like I don't want to just say it looks like a ballerina because it really doesn't.
Oh,
But
I know who you're talking about.
oh, you do?
Yeah, if you say it, that's actually the best way to explain it.
Okay,
Hang on.
because I'm just like
Oh, Okay, yeah. So, Ralts, the final evolution of Ralts, right?
Yes. Okay, good. Because like I didn't want to like give you a description and make you think it's like one Pokemon, but it really is another Pokemon.
Okay, that's actually another. Yeah, no, I love the Ralts evolutions as well. Even though I say EVs, I also love Vulpixes. I love the Alolan in
Aww.
the original, and I love Growlithe. I'm a. I think it's because I'm a fire sign. I'm a Sagittarius that I really like the fire Pokemon more, and then I
Aw.
always like the fairy and the psychic type.
Aw.
Uh, oh, and Mimikyu. Mimikyu is adorable.
Aw. Yeah, Mimikyu is so cute. I remember getting one during a Wonder Trade once. Like, it was so
Oh, really?
weird. Yeah, it was like, oh, I wasn't expecting you. And, like, it kicked a lot of butt in
Oh,
Pokemon.
like
It,
like my Ditto trade that I got.
yeah. And then the last one I want to say for Pokemon is um I tend to like favor electric Pokemon more, and I want
Okay.
to say my last favorite Pokemon is uh oh my god, why am I blanking out? It's the electric sheep Pokemon. Oh my god. Like
Oh.
I should know its name, but for some reason I'm thinking about Wooloo and all the memes for Wooloo. It's a Mareep, right? Mareep? Mareep?
Murray.
I think. Oh my
Hang on, I
god.
know what you're talking about. But I don't remember the name.
Yes,
Hang on, I'm now
it's
looking.
Mareep. Mareep.
Marie, Marie. Oh, Marie. Okay, yes, I know. I forgot about that Pokemon ever since the Wooloo came out.
Yeah, I just remember seeing like a bunch of like fan art where they're both together being like adorable, and I'm just like,
Aw,
yes, it's cute. I love it. Like,
this is mine now.
oh man, but yeah, like, yeah, I I feel like there's so many. It's kind of hard to like pick
Yeah.
one favorite, and
No,
like,
I totally agree.
and I'm pretty sure like there's other Pokemon out there that I would really like, but there's like 800 of them. And I'm just like, okay, I don't know. But
Yeah, it's almost to 1,000. But yeah, there is a lot. But like, I
mhm.
definitely noticed that I go toward more the fire types or the psychic, fairy types.
Uh-huh.
Um, those have always been the ones I kind of been drawn to, style wise. Like I got a lot of the fire starters.
Mhm. Oh,
Um,
oh yeah.
like a lot.
I te- for starters, I tend to pick fire because like I've noticed that we would go to grass area first, so I'm all like, okay, I need something that would kick a bunch of grass Pokemon's butt. So I end up picking fire.
Oh, you can do it because of that. No, I either pick a Pokemon based on which one I like,
Mhm.
or if it's the case where it's like, okay, so the first gym I'm going to need a Pokemon that will defeat it because I can't get Pokemon between where I start and where I go.
Mhm.
But normally I try to go for the type I like, which is like why I've liked the Score Bunny. I named him Trex.
Yeah.
And I liked Finnick in X and Y. Like she was my favorite.
Mhm.
And I think in I think Sun and Moon was the first one where I'm like, I really like the grass. Was one of the few where I'm like, I like the grass Pokemon. Give me a what you call it, Rowlet.
Mhm.
And I named him Houdini, and he was
Houdini.
mine. Yes.
Oh, that's cute. I didn't think about Houdini. Like, I remembered, who was it? I think it was my husband. Around that time, he was telling me, "Oh yeah, like so I got a Rowlet and I named it Draco." And I was like, "Draco, why?" And he showed me his second form and I was just like, "Oh, okay." Well, I don't know how to feel about this. But yeah, that oh man, like I yeah, like when it comes to starters, I tend to be more strategic. Like I'll look and see if like there are other forms. Like I will actually kind of like look and see like there like the other forms and all that. But yeah, I tend
Yeah.
to like skew fire a lot. I mean, I eventually get all the other starters too, in some way. Like usually through Wonder Trades or one of my friends is who are like way past me in the game will be like breeding them and I'll be like, hey, like, can I have one?
Can I have one,
I'll trade you with whatever
please?
Pokemon I have.
Well,
And
I have. Not even ones that you want. I have.
well, I mean, like, I can't like say I'll trade you for this if I don't have it. So, I'm like completely upfront. Like, yeah, I don't like if there's Pokemon that I have you want, just tell me and I will trade.
I will do anything. Anything. Um, and we kind of touched on it a little bit of like, do we think that they're going too far with the installments, and running out of ideas? I that's and I think that's where I kind of talked about it, where I dropped out during Black White and Black White 2.
Mhm.
That's where I actually felt the fatigue slash they didn't really have a lot of ideas. But I feel like now they're getting back into the groove of things. I
I
really go ahead.
no, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say I really, really like this is what I've been wanting for the longest time. Now that we have the Switch, I really want this to happen. Where you start off with like fire red leaf green area, the Kento region. I'm sorry, I'm not very good with names. You start off with the Kento region and then you go through all the different
Mhm.
regions
Mhm.
as your for like a long-term RPG game.
Mm.
That's what I want.
Okay. Let's see. I feel like because someone did ask me about what I if I think that they're pushing the series too far. And I feel like I'm like the worst person to ask, mainly because like I said before, like I didn't like yeah I got into like the card game like as a kid, but I didn't really get into the game and games until like when I was way older, like I want to say 25, like
Mhm.
for Pokemon. It was like in my mid 20s. So for me, I feel like I don't think they are like pushing or I don't think they're running out of ideas. I just like personally to me, I don't think they're running out of ideas. I think some of their ideas are a little weird, like the ice cream Pokemon, but but
Garbage.
but for me, I like that they are willing to push and try new things. Like, yeah, I kind of get why people were upset about like how they'll cut certain like ideas out and like replace it with like another idea, but I feel like um the fact that they're willing to try something new, like
Mhm.
to me, I'm just like, okay, they're willing to try something new, and I think that's pretty cool. I, and I think like it could be a little risky with using an existing like IP.
Mhm.
Yeah, but yeah, like I'm looking forward to see like what else they got. Like I'm hoping eventually they do this like I've had this idea for or like this hope for a long time that they'll do like like a huge like Pokemon game where like you could start like you could put where you start, like you could start Kanto
Oh.
region or whatever, and then kind of go through that, and then when you're done like with the gyms and stuff, you like can go out to like another region and try to become like Pokemon like
Lord.
lord or ruler of the world or whatever. And
Basically my idea, only you get to start wherever you want to start.
yeah, like I thought they did something like that, like some form of the idea, like at an older version where like you go through one region and then like after you're done it like unlocks like Kanto, but I might be crazy and like
I think that did happen in Crystal. Let me double check that while you're talking.
okay, but yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. Like you started like it. If I didn't imagine it, like if I think if this was an actual thing I heard that did happen, like yeah, I think that's pretty cool, and I hope they do some version like that. But yeah,
Um,
we will see.
Yep. All previous games, the main goal of players to defeat all the gym leaders of Johto, which is where Crystal takes place in, and take
Uh-huh.
on the Elite Four. After the player will be able to travel to the region of Kanto and take on the Kanto gym leaders for their badges. After winning all 8 badges, Professor Oak will give the player permission to go to Mount Silver and face the protagonist of Generation 1, Brad.
Oh, that'd be so cool. Like,
We kind of had that in Sun and Moon. Because
huh.
we saw red and blue in there. I don't remember if I got to battle them.
Oh yeah, I actually did not do the battle dome just because I'm just like, eh. I think at that point I moved on to like other games. I think that was around the time I like was just like, oh okay, I'm gonna download Stardew Valley and start playing that. Um,
It start getting lost in that. Yeah, okay, yeah. I'm just checking the Wikipedia, and it's saying that you do get to battle him in Sun and Moon. So
okay, yeah, okay, that's yeah, that's where I hope the future is like, unless like they have like more regions, and I'm kind of curious like what other regions can they cover, and how many more Pokemon is that gonna be?
or like like how Aloha is based or Lola. I keep saying Aloha and it's Alola is based off Hawaii. The place I don't remember what that is called, but the place for X and Y is based off France, and the more Sword and Shield is based off of England. I'm kind of hoping that they do something kind of like that, where they can like go back to America and do like the western part of America, or they can go
Yeah,
to South America, or they
yeah.
can do Central America, Mexico. Like, there's a lot of things that they could do if they want to continue doing that, or do our idea and do like a big old
Like MMO or something, or I don't know.
MMO, not MMO. I don't think.
But I don't know. Also, another thing, it's like maybe like if they end up like porting all the other games, like maybe the possibility of like kind of like what they're doing right now with like with Pokemon Sword and Shield, where there's an expansion.
Yeah,
Like I'm kind of hoping they do maybe something like that in the future, like where like they expand, like expand the world. And I know some people are gonna take issue with that idea, like
yeah,
DLC and all that, but like I I don't know, but I kind of don't want to get into that. I shouldn't,
yeah,
but yeah, like I'm kind of hoping, like they expand the world a bit further in general, just because I'm one of those that likes to look in the lore of like games,
same.
and so I'm just like, oh, there's got to be more. All these stories have to be connected in some capacity. So, but yeah, that's me. uh, oh man. So I don't know. Like, do you think they'll make more Pokemon?
I think they will.
I mean,
it's one of those series where it's like I
Hmm.
don't think it's going away anytime soon. Because,
Well,
like I said, I feel like they got their groove back.
yeah, which I feel like with a lot of like Nintendo or like games made by Nintendo and games that are like actually like supported by Nintendo, I feel like they've gotten much better.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that like I just remember like hearing people complain about certain stuff, not just with Pokemon, but with like other games.
Hmm.
Like I don't know, like I said, maybe it's just because I didn't grow up with like playing like a lot of like video games that or just video games in general.
Yeah.
I kind of wonder if the nostalgia glasses are on for everyone that like complain, but or maybe it's just me.
Well, as someone who they grew up with the series, I don't feel like I have nostalgia glasses on if I'm able to be like I started losing interest in by X point, and then this is what got me back in because of A, B, and C reasons.
Mhm.
But I do understand where you're coming from, where it could be nostalgia glasses, as you say, um,
Mhm.
blinding the person to like some positive things, and some people are just really stubborn.
Yeah, which you know, I get it. I understand. You know, it like especially like when they're making changes to like an IP that you know you grew up with and that you love, that it's like, oh no, I want like my like kids or like my like
Younger siblings or whatever.
siblings to like enjoy this series the way I did, you know.
But times change. That's
Well,
I
yeah,
think what a lot of people.
not just to that times change. It's also like, you know, eh, they're a bit, you know, they're a bit different. They like I don't know. The approach should be a bit different with stuff like that. Just like, oh, well, you see this, but also this is what I grew up with. Like, you know, show them a little bit of history. But yeah,
Yeah.
sorry, I went into like a tangent about that.
It's okay. No, I totally understand, and I kind of get where like
Uh huh.
I like you. I'm actually part of the group that grew up with these games, so like
Uh huh.
as I mentioned, like a lot of my opinions were not based on nostalgia. They're based off of like not only just kind of what I felt like when I started hitting that wall of like, oh my god, this is too much,
Uh huh.
but like
Uh huh.
what I've heard from other people saying like, oh, are they running out of ideas? Are they, you know, ABC questions? Um, it's a lot of just
Uh huh.
I feel like it's a lot of times change and you gotta just
Uh huh.
learn to move with it
Uh huh.
because and at the same time, like people are gonna complain about remakes, they're gonna complain about
Uh huh.
new things. Like you're not gonna get people who are happy. And that's where I kind of am where I'm like, you know, you could remake the games, but then
Uh huh.
people are gonna complain like, why don't you just do an original idea?
Yeah, oh yeah. Like I could go on to and do a TED talk about that.
Let's talk about that.
But yeah, like or but yeah, I don't know. That'll be for another time. That'll be for another time. Because it's not just with Pokemon, it's just like with everything in general.
Yeah. And that's I feel like whenever we get to a topic about that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Um
Plus, I would get into ranty territory, and like, nah, you like, I don't think anyone's ready to hear that, especially on our pilot episode.
yeah, we get into very good like not I don't want to say arguments, but the heated discussions because we're neither of us are arguing against each other. We're just talking about frustrations
Yeah.
um about the topics. One thing I do want to add is like this is kind of related. I grew up watching Digimon, like I loved Digimon growing up as well.
Mhm.
And what I noticed with their recent games, while the TV shows are kind of still more catered toward kids, to cater toward kids that are just getting into the series,
Mhm.
their games are kind of growing up with the people who originally played the games, watched the show. And I like that. And like I don't think Pokemon can do that because they are such a huge like Nintendo franchise. But the fact that like some companies can do that, and Digimon has taken that step to
Mm-hmm.
do that, I think that's actually really cool. Like it's still like kind of kid friendly, but there's still like there's topics that are fairly serious
Mm.
in those games. So
My experience with Digimon, I watched it when Pokemon wasn't on. And that's all I got. I didn't even remember like the episodes I watched. So
um,
yeah, but yeah, like I said, I didn't grow up with I like with a lot of nerdy stuff. So but yeah, hold on, let me see. Trying to think if there's anything else we need to add in regards to Pokemon. I know a mystery dungeon came out.
yeah, I haven't touched it yet.
I played the demo and like I thought the graphics was cute. Like I was like, oh, like
It kind of looked like, from what is it? Does it look like a storybook almost? Because that's what I got the
yeah.
feeling. Okay, yeah, that looks cute. I do want to like play that, but then I also bought the Animal Crossing New Horizon and downloaded that already onto the thing. So
Oh
I
god,
kind
I'm
of.
so excited about that. But I'll gush. I will save my gushing for that because I also I bought the Switch. The Switch for it too. I sold my old Switch like and to buy this to like put money in for this Switch because it is cute and like damn. I'm so excited. I'm picking it up on like well, actually no, I'm not gonna be the one picking it up because I'll be at work and by the time I get home, because it's at the Best Buy that's like literally down the street from me.
Uh-huh.
Um, I don't like walking with electronics very late at night. So
Fair enough.
but no, what is it? But so like someone is gonna pick it up for me and drop it off, so I can
Nice.
like take care of everything. But yeah, so anyways, I don't want to like get into that topic because that's
For a
next.
future episode.
That is for our next episode where it's just me and Phoenix gonna be gushing about Animal Crossing.
And when she says me and Phoenix, she really just means her.
Well, shh, shh. I promise I'll let you say something. Oh man. Yeah. So, um,
I think we're done with the topic of Pokemon. I think that was a great discussion.
yeah.
I
Uh,
liked it. It was good.
we should tell our. Sorry, I'm like looking at our
Docket.
docket at the moment. Bear with
Um,
us. Uh
so while you're doing that, because I know what's gonna be next.
huh.
So I thought a fun thing that we could do is, and I got this from Super Best Friend Cast or Castle. I don't know if they do it still because that has changed.
Mhm.
But I got this idea where we want you guys to send us in questions, and you can send those in at geekycheekies@gmail.com.
Mhm.
That again is geekycheekies@gmail.com, basically our podcast name.
Mhm.
And you can send in questions and we'll answer them at the near the end of every episode because I think that's a great way to like get to know us and get to know us about,
Mhm.
topics that may not come up now or not even in the future.
Mhm.
Um, and and a lot of times there's a lot of like ones that make you think. And so
Mhm.
that's I just kind of did some basic let's get to know us questions. So,
Mhm.
um let's start with since we were on the topic of video games, what is your favorite video game series, Jenny?
Ha, that's easy. Well, okay. So,
Animal Crossing.
yeah, Animal Crossing, like I actually have two. It's Animal Crossing and Stardew Valley. Um Animal Crossing, well, Animal Crossing, that's why. And Stardew Valley, like it actually got me going back into like programming and like learning programming and stuff. So the that's mainly why I really, or like like that's the main reason why like Stardew Valley is my favorite game, just because like um its simplicity and like the whole like uh I can mod it easily.
Yeah.
So yeah. How about you?
So I have a lot. Sorry, my mom's like, "Hey, are you up? Can you she was just asking what I'm doing. I'm like, "I'm recording right now, so give me a bit." Um so my favorites, okay, so I have quite a few. No
Mhm.
surprise there. Um, as I grew up with games. So one of my favorites is Kingdom Hearts.
Mhm.
And I'm going to say that a lot of like, the nostalgia
Mhm.
glasses we talked about, there's a lot of things that are wrong with that series that I will put nostalgia glasses on and be like, they're fine, everything's fine. Um, and I think the main reason was that was like when I was growing up, we had the GameCube, and that was for me and my brothers to share.
Mhm.
But when I was like 14, I want to say, I got the PlayStation 2 from my biological dad. My family situation's all weird. I'll talk about it. I'll talk about that in the future.
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
and he got me the PlayStation 2, and I got Kingdom Hearts because that was kind of what my friends were into. And I think a lot of that was based on, the PlayStation 2 was my first system that was entirely mine. I did not have to share that with my brothers. That was my system.
Mhm.
And I don't want to say I like Final Fantasy as a franchise. I liked each games differently because they're all different stories. They're not like following the same time or storyline like Kingdom Hearts did.
Mhm.
And I also like Harvest Moon.
Mhm.
That was another game I liked. That was one of the games where I'm just like, I really like the series. It's very relaxing.
Mhm.
And yeah, no, I think those are the main ones. If those are the ones I can think of right off the top of my head, those are the ones that I consider my favorite series.
Okay. And let me see. What other questions can we throw in this
What?
Q&A? What?
I thought you were saying something you cut off.
Oh, yeah. No, sorry. Like I was just like trying to think what else we could add to this Q&A.
Well, I
Uh
have like a whole list. Did you
oh.
not see my list?
I saw I didn't see anything earlier from today. So, okay. There.
Like I put together a list.
Okay.
Sorry, folks. This is what happens when we don't like establish things before recording.
I mean, like, dang it, my
Okay.
internet's being weird. uh, what?
I could start off with the next question because we
Yeah.
kind of talked about it earlier. Um. Okay, so next question I thought was a good one is what is your favorite kind of food? Sweet, sour, spicy, salty, bitter? Which one of those? I personally am a sweet tooth person. I kind of mentioned that at the beginning of the episode.
Mhm.
I also like sour and salty. I'm not very big on the spicy. I definitely don't like bitter too much.
So, I I really love sweet. Like, I think it could get pretty bad sometimes. But I like it's sweet and salty. Those are my favorites. I I think spicy food is okay. Like I'll eat because there will be times where I'll have it, but I feel like there's
Mhm.
just some people or some foods that that are just spicy for the sake of being spicy,
Exactly,
and,
exactly. Oh
and
my god.
it's just like, oh, that's terrible. Like I just want to eat.
One of my one of my favorite one of my favorite animes that came out in the last few years is called Food Wars. Food Wars is one of those animes where I don't suggest it to everyone. I suggest it to only certain friends
Uh
because
huh.
they're like so I'm actually pretty good. Once I get to know you, I know what kind of stuff you'll like. I think Jenny, might like Food Wars, but it will
Mhm.
take you a little bit to get into it because it did take me a little bit.
Mhm.
Um, because if you don't know what it is, you don't know anything about this anime. First off,
Mhm. I actually, yeah, like I think like Food Wars, like I don't know. Like, I think you mentioned it to me once, and then I was just like, okay.
I think it would be a good topic for one of the ideas we have for later, which we're not going to spoil,
Yeah.
because it is definitely going to fall under that category. I'll actually IM you really quick what it will fall under. You might have an idea though.
uh, maybe, but I don't want to give away too much. But yeah, like
Anyway, but that wasn't the point. That I was just kind of seeing first if you knew anything about the anime. So basically,
yeah. Sorry, it like cause like for me, I was just like trying to remember like cause I swear on everything. I remember you telling me,
I probably did.
and then I was just like okay, but not like that's weird, but more like,
It is weird.
okay, I gotta figure out time to like actually like check all this stuff out. Because like the thing is
Yeah.
for me, like, I'm sorry I'm going on a tangent, but like,
No, that's totally fine. If I tried to interject, sorry, I'm gonna interject right now just to let you know. If I try to, I'm just gonna bring up a point that you just said.
uh-huh. No, like, and no worries. You can interject at any time. like, like times or like I mentioned it to several of our friends before, but time's always been an issue with me. So
Mm-hmm.
trying to like figure out like the best times to like watch anything, cause I like to like if someone recommends like a video or like just anything with me,
Mm-hmm.
I like to actually like sit and pay attention and like
Okay.
cuz like for me it's like okay, this person recommended this to me and they really like it, so I want to give my
Give it.
attention.
Yeah. No,
So
that makes
so yeah, like, and that's hard for me because like
sense.
I do like a bunch of tasks and have like YouTube running in the background or Disney playing in the background or something, and like
Yeah.
yeah, and then I end up rewatching the videos several times because like I miss stuff and I know I miss stuff. So yeah, I will.
I feel like I feel like with Food Wars, because this will go really well with the topic we're going to talk about in the future.
Mm-hmm.
I suggest maybe taking notes while you're watching it, but we'll get into that later, I think.
Yeah. Okay.
But I get that. I usually do stuff whenever I'm watching something. I have to crochet or draw or do something with my hands to
Mm-hmm.
focus. Unless it's something that is subbed
Mm-hmm.
in Japanese, then I can like sit and actually pay attention and watch it, and then I'll know if I'm not going to be able to watch it because I'll not be paying attention as much to what they're saying on the screen.
Mm.
Um, but so my whole point before we went off topic, with Food Wars about spicy food is that there is in season 3
Mm-hmm.
they talk a lot about spicy, and there is a guy who specializes in making mapa tofu. I don't think I said that right.
Mm-hmm.
Mapa mapa
Mop paw maybe.
mapa.
I think.
Hang on. I mapa pa. I'm not Chinese. Obviously, I'm a white girl. But do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, so he specializes in making Chinese cuisine. Made the main thing is ma pa tofu.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and they talk a lot about how you need to balance out the reason why his food's so good is because he balances out the fact that not only is it super spicy, but
Mm-hmm.
it actually has an addicting taste to it because of the flavoring he's using. It's not spicy for the sake of being spicy. It's spicy because there's that balance. He figured out that balance between spicy and flavor, like
Yeah.
flavoring in a sense. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Like it actually or it really does cuz like for me it's like it is this like I'm willing to try spicy foods if like the spice is supposed to like complement the flavor,
Yeah,
but not if what
like
is
wasabi, like
yeah
wasabi with sushi.
yeah, but if it's just like spicy for the sake of being spicy, then I'm like, nah.
Nah, man, nah. And yeah, I'm the same way. Like, I'll try. Okay, I shouldn't say that. I have for people like I mentioned in the beginning of the episode, I have autism, which there's a lot of things that go with autism. One of the things is sensory deficit disorder,
Mhm.
which I described very well. I think. Did I tell you how I described this? I feel like I did.
I think so.
The
Okay.
spidey sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Okay.
I described it as having spidey sense on, but it's on 24/7. It's
Mhm.
up to 10, and it doesn't actually help you.
Mm.
And that comes with the territory when it comes to food. Mapa tofu is something that I would actually try if I actually could handle tofu. Tofu doesn't agree with my mouth because I don't the textures don't I don't
It,
like the textures.
okay.
That's the easiest way to describe it. I don't like the textures. It doesn't work well with my mouth.
Okay.
And that's the same with like clothes. There are certain clothes I cannot wear because it irritates my skin because I'm more sensitive to that kind of stuff. Or noises, like I kind of mentioned to you, I have headphones. Like whenever I buy new headphones, I have to see is this going to be uh, noise canceling or
Mhm.
noise reducing because of the fact that I need to use them
Mhm.
for when I'm having issues sensory wise with too much noise around me.
Ah, okay. I remembered you mentioning a couple or your sensory stuff, like
Issues.
yeah. Well, I don't want to call it issues.
I call it issues. Yeah.
If you
Disorder.
if you can't tell, I try not to like I try not to like say it like that or like
And I'm the same way. I say it, but because it's for my stuff, I say it how I say it. But
okay.
if it was like if I were to talk about my friend having schizophrenia, I would never call it like issues. I would probably call it a disability or a disorder because that's technically what they are.
Uh-huh.
But I wouldn't call them issues. I wouldn't call them anything along the lines that I would call anything I have because
Mhm.
that I would not understand what it's like to have that. I don't understand what it's like to have that.
Mhm.
Um, but with my stuff, I can call it issues because it is an issue for me. You know what I
Oh.
mean?
Okay. Okay. I get it.
Yeah.
It's fine. I was just more or less like, man, I don't want to sound like insensitive or
No,
anything.
and that's exactly why I wanted to automatically just let you know I get that. I just call it for myself, and if it was for about anything that I actually don't have, like schizophrenia, like
Mhm.
what else do I not have? Because I have a lot of issues.
Well,
Like I said, I would call it issues, but I would not call anyone else's mental disorders issues because I don't it may not be a problem as much of a problem for them as my mental disorders are for me.
mm, okay. Okay.
Um but I think calling it a disorder is fine. That's just for me and you can if people are like I don't like that word for whatever kind of stuff I'm going through, then I'm giving you permission to call it disorder for my stuff.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yeah. But
uh,
yeah, I've mentioned to you a few times about my sensory disorder and how like cons have something I used to love going to cons as a kid, but now that I'm older or a
mhm.
teenager I should say, but now that I'm older I have a lot of problems
Mhm.
due to mostly the sound part of it, just being noisy people talking everywhere.
Mhm.
Um one of my friends gave me the idea of, hey, why don't we do a vocally cosplay? I go as Miku.
Mhm.
Figure out if you want to go as Miku as well. That's totally fine. You could copy me. I'm okay with that. But if you want to do that, why don't we figure that out together and we can go to a smaller convention and see how that works out for you. So,
Aw, that's
uh,
actually really cool.
yeah, and I've known this girl since she was actually one of my first friends I made at Nandesukon, which is a local
Mhm.
anime convention in Colorado.
Mhm.
And she only recently found out she has autism. I think I may have told you this.
Yeah, you have.
Yeah, and which I actually now that looking back on it, actually makes a lot of sense.
Mhm.
And it's actually really nice. Like it's weird, like this is something I never want to have on anyone else, but
Mhm.
it's also nice to have someone who understands
Like
completely.
can relate to you.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. Like it is nice because like I don't know. So sometimes like because sometimes, or I feel like as we get older, sometimes it's just like harder to find people you can relate to.
Yeah.
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 uh,
Um, we totally went off topic, but
yeah, yes, we did. Yeah.
but we were talking about food.
Yeah.
I like sweet food. I
Mhm.
love sour gummy worms. I'm not really big on like a lot of sour things, but I like sour gummy worms
Mhm.
and sour octopus. Like I like the sour gummies.
Mhm.
And I like chips. I like spicy, or I like not spicy, salty food.
Mhm.
But now that I'm older, I think now that like my dad had a heart attack 2 years ago. I think I told you this already, or
Uh,
you.
actually, no. Or wait, maybe.
This was 2 years ago. We were kind of. I don't think we were quite as close as we are now.
Mhm.
But I did mention. I think I did mention. Hey, my dad had. I'm not going to be around right now because of this. Because I'm
Mhm.
helping my family.
Mhm.
With whatever's going on at home.
Mhm.
Um, so like I've kind of like started noticing because we have been cutting down on salt at my house since then.
Mhm.
That whenever I eat salty food, it kind of makes my heart hurt a little bit. So I kind of have cut down a lot with salty food.
I mean, that's good. Like, so, I
And
think
my
it's.
dad's okay, by the way. My dad's okay for people who do not know. He has recovered. Um, just in case, just so that people are aware, he's recovered. He's good. This is technically my stepdad, but he raised me, so I call him dad.
Okay.
So
Hey,
sorry.
yeah, no worries. My only comment is I don't know if you want that out yet. So, well, um, what was it? This is my only note about the Q&A. Maybe, maybe we kind of keep detouring a little too much.
We do, but like first episode,
Yeah.
I feel like that does happen. We'll definitely need to try to keep on track next time.
Okay. Like maybe we'll do the docket. Like maybe more details on the docket would probably help. Maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now that we decided that we're gonna do just the 3 questions each time,
Mhm.
then we can put those questions in to the
Mhm.
dockets, and um, I feel like when certain topics you do go off topic about it, but as long as you go right back into what you're trying to say.
Yeah, I could like that's my only thing that my concern is maybe we might like I feel like we need enough structure where we don't go off tangent too much, but not
Yeah,
enough where it feels like completely like
scripted.
and disingenuous. So, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like the food topic is definitely kind of just related to one another, and then like we need to one of us needs to be like, okay, let's like just gently steer the other back on topic if needed.
Yeah.
Let's definitely do that in the future.
Yeah.
Um, and I think this next one will definitely I'm gonna go a little off topic about it.
Yeah.
Um, but and so let's go back on to
The last
I'll
question?
the last question. Yes.
Yeah.
I'll remove this from the what we just talked about from the
Yeah.
final episode. So let's pretend like we didn't have this conversation starting now. Okay. And our final question
Mhm.
is, or at least our final question for today. I have a lot. I went a little overboard with the questions,
Okay.
but we decided that we'll only do a few at a time, just to kind of not overwhelm people.
Mhm.
Um, who inspires you and why? And I use this for like, and my thought is like, is there a person in your life? Is there a creator? Is there a director? Like, let's talk about that a little bit.
Oh man, that's hard for me to say because I feel like with every like person like I look up to, I guess, that like there's a
Mhm.
piece of them that like something like they've done like had inspired me. But like I would like to say I would pick if I had to though, my parents and uh this might sound weird, YouTuber from his name is Linus and he does Linus Tech Tips. Uh and it feels weird going between, like someone I personally, people I personally know
Yeah.
to him, to like a like essentially like a random YouTuber, is because like my parents say um like kind of growing up and knowing like their struggles that they had
Mhm.
to deal with. For me, it inspired me to work, harder and appreciate like everything I have here.
Mhm.
And for Linus, like he inspired me because like listening to like cuz like in his channel he kind of goes there's like some videos that shows like behind the scenes stuff on how the company works or he
Okay.
and all that. And I and I was like really surprised like how like hardworking and like kind of like how like basically like how like as a businessman like how he like his story about like going from like kind of nothing to like building his like a media group and like having all these channels and like and still like not be like be greedy or like a dick or anything like that. And for me, like I don't really see that often because like I mean, I get it. Like once you start making money or something, or you have
Mhm.
like some kind of form of investment down the line, you have to start changing some of the things to make things going, especially if you own a business.
Or
uh,
if you're like a huge group,
yeah, like a
like if you start out small and then got big.
yeah, like you have a lot of people supporting you, but the fact that he was able to kind of like I mean, yeah, like obviously there's some stuff that had to change. They had to be a little more or a bit more corporate, but but he's still him, and he still does the videos he does. It's just like higher quality and uh
Yeah.
but yeah, those are the two that inspire me. Or
Oh,
how about you?
I like how you have two. We're gonna be here for a while with me.
Okay.
I know, and it's good to have like. I feel I was gonna actually be like, yeah, I have someone in my life that inspired me, and that is my older brother actually. And
Aw.
I don't talk about him too much. He and I were not very close growing up. Actually, I didn't even know I had an older brother until I was like 11,
Mhm.
and that was just something my mom was just trying to protect me from. And
Mhm.
my mom's great. She was just trying to do what was best for me, and so like I was angry at her when I was younger, but now I understand why she was doing it.
Mhm.
But he really inspired me because he was always he was creative. He was very creative, and even though his was toward music and mine is more art, like he really inspired me to just keep doing what I like doing.
Aw.
And even though I steered off topic from doing that, or off the path from doing that for a while, I'm starting to get back into that. Like that's why I made that investment to get the tablet,
Mhm.
is so that I can start doing art and using and doing that and doing stuff that I love rather than
Mhm.
being a cog in the machines again, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, that's.
So yeah, he inspires me, and my mom does too. Like
Mhm.
we don't get along a lot. Like we have very different personalities and we clash a lot, but it's,
Mhm.
she always just tries to do what's best for me and always tries to do what's best for the family. So
Yeah. Oh, that's really sweet.
and then I kind of hinted at it before, but like Miyazaki did inspire me like creatively.
Mhm.
And that is because he's so great at visual storytelling.
Mm.
Like that is something I've always wanted to inspire to do, is visually being able to tell a story like that, like he does.
Mm.
Um and eventually I will probably get there, but for right now, like I'm just kind of trying to get my my feet on the ground and trying to get that sorted out of like what I want to do with my art.
Mhm.
Um, so right now I don't know where I'm going to go with that. And uh, another person who inspires me is, Tim Burton, because he has. So there's a rumor for people who do not know that he actually might be autistic,
Mm.
which makes a lot of sense when you look at his stuff. But the reason why he inspires me is not because of that, because there's no confirmation of him being autistic. Is that he takes like very kind of dark
Mhm.
subject and makes it something that isn't scary.
Mm.
It's just kind of dark, and I'm not a big horror fan. Like I like scary stories, but I don't like horror movies or horror
Mhm.
shows that much because I have I have an overactive imagination that if I visually see it, it's going to be with me for a while. But if I read it, it's not. It's just going to go bye bye out my brain
Mm.
after a while. Um, but I do like the dark aspect. Like I was a goth. I was a goth and a punk growing up. Um, so I like the dark stuff. But I didn't like the scary. He was one of the few at the time that kind of did the morbid darkness with but wasn't meant to be scary. It's just meant to be kind of a dark fantasy type of thing.
Mhm.
So that's why, and I want to do something similar to that in the future.
Mm.
Um, so hopefully I'll get there. But for right now, like I said, I'm just um, kind of fighting my feet and figuring out what I want to do. So
All right. Remember, baby steps. Okay.
baby steps, yes. Do not overwhelm yourself. This is actually we've had. I do want to touch on that really quick because I think that's going to be. I think we're going to keep touching on that in the future, Jenny, about baby steps and not
Mhm.
biting off more than you can chew,
Yeah.
because there is such a thing as being overwhelmed
Mhm.
and creatively overwhelmed. And we've had this planned out for over a month now.
Yeah, but like we also have busy schedules too. Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
But we took the time to be not try to force it out. Like we had a different pilot episode planned,
mhm.
but then life got in the way, and I told you, you know what? Let's actually change it to Pokemon instead
Mhm.
because I think that's going to be a better start, and it worked out
Mhm.
beautifully because of that.
Yeah. I feel like it's an easier topic, especially since Mystery Dungeon.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
and Mystery Dungeon just came out as well.
yeah.
And like for the first few episodes, you guys are going to notice we're basing off of games that just came out. So, or like games, pop culture. Right now, it's a lot of games because that's what's coming out right now. It's a lot of games.
Mhm.
And then I feel like in the summer it's going to be more. We don't know yet, by the way, but I feel like we're going to like focus more toward movies and TV shows and stuff like that,
Mhm.
because that's when movies come out more, is during the summer.
Yeah. Like,
So,
is there any particular you're waiting for, like, or looking forward to this summer?
like movies.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not the summer, but I'm looking forward to Mulan.
Uh huh.
I'm excited for that. Mulan was one of my favorite movies growing up. And ooh, what other movies are coming out in the summer? I'm trying to think because I know that like Onward just came out, and I'm gonna actually try to see that hopefully next weekend. It just depends.
Mhm.
Maybe I'll beg my brother to go with me.
Mhm.
I'm interested to see what is how they're gonna do Black Widow.
Mhm.
That comes out in May.
Okay.
Um okay, now I have to look up what other movies are coming out. Do you have any that you want to go see?
Nah, I'm not a movie kind of person. I can't sit during a movie. Yeah, I was just curious because I haven't been keeping up. Let's see. Do you have any projects? Like personal.
Currently, no.
It,
currently my stuff, anything that I'm doing right now is going to be relating to my tablet and just drawing and kind of doing that.
mhm.
And I'll probably post that on one of my social medias, or I'll make it account just for my art.
Mhm.
That will be on my Twitter, which we'll talk about in a minute what our handles are.
Mhm.
But what about you? Do you have anything that you're doing right now that you're gonna or is gonna come out hopefully soon?
Uh, well, I do have like a couple project or like one particular project I have. Like I can't really talk about too much, but I'm actually hoping to get it to have something out by the end of the year. But we will see because coding is can be kind of a nightmare sometimes. So
Yes, I can.
yeah, and especially since I'm going through like I am still going through college at the moment, so like we will see.
Okay. Oh, the Ghostbusters movie that's coming out. That I was like, I know there was something coming out in July that I want to see, and that's Ghostbusters Afterlife. I love the Ghostbusters.
Oh, okay. I didn't know they were making another one.
Yeah, this one isn't gonna be it looks like it's not gonna be based off of like the girl all girl team.
Mhm.
It looks like it's gonna be like a continuation of the original.
Mm.
And it has Pod Rudd in it, so like I love him. So I have to go see it now.
Okay. Okay. Well, yeah. Let me know how that goes.
Yeah.
I'm a bit curious.
Um so obviously what's coming out for like not for us but for like the world. The next game that we're excited to come out is Animal Crossing New Horizon. Um
Yeah.
Jenny's a little more excited than me, obviously. I like and we'll get into it. Like I do like Animal Crossing. I think I'm more excited about trying to get some projects started. And
Mhm.
that's where my focus more. But then once the week of the game comes out, I'm gonna be like, when is it coming out? It's not soon enough. Ah!
Besides Animal Crossing, what about any other games are you looking forward to?
Onward. I think Onward looks really cute. That's
Mhm.
the new Pixar movie for people who don't know, and it has Chris Pratt and
Mhm.
Tom Holland. I always want to call him Hiddleston, and I know that's not his last name.
Mhm. Wait.
But basically, it has Thor and Spider Man,
Ah.
or no Thor. I'm sorry, not Thor. Wait, what's a Thor? Crap! Now I can't remember. I got myself confused.
Wait. Does Onward have a game coming out or?
No, it's just the movie.
Okay.
I'm just excited about the movie.
Oh.
I know on the doc I said games, but I should have put like anything in general.
Yeah. No.
Chris Pratt. I mean, it is Chris Pratt. I was like, wait a minute. I said Chris Pratt, but was it Henson? But no, it's Chris Pratt and Star Lord and Spider Man, and I'm excited for that movie. I
Okay.
got myself confused.
No worries. All right. And then should we just wrap it up here?
I think that's a good idea. We had I think it was a great first podcast. I know we went like off topic a lot
Mhm.
when it came to like the questions and stuff like that. But if you guys want to follow either of us, my name is Phoenix. I go by LadyStoryweaver on Twitter, YouTube. I don't have quite anything on YouTube right now. Instagram and all that fun stuff. You can follow me in all of those. Jenny, what is your handle? Because I feel like it changes every month.
Oh no. Well, there's a story about that. But so let's see. I'm Jetty, obviously, and you can follow me on Twitter, which is JKTTY9, and like, and I'm on other socials, but like they're kind of being like reconstructed. So I just recommend Twitter for right now. If you want any like, if you just want me to see, or if you want to see my likes and random
and
retweets.
I retweet a lot of art. Yeah, like I said, mine is like story for my Instagram is more dedicated toward my mom's dog because he is adorable.
Mhm,
And I do not like taking pictures of myself.
mhm.
But you can follow us there. We have a Twitter and an Instagram for the podcast, which is just gonna be Geeky Cheekies. You can follow us there. You can find us on YouTube. We have a channel set up that will have episodes on it.
I think it will be in the descriptions.
Yes, if if you are watching on YouTube, it's going to be in the description where all of our social media is as well.
Mhm.
Um, and we will let you know where you can also download this podcast.
Yeah,
Uh,
we're still trying to figure that
we're saying that right now, but yeah, we're still trying to figure that out. We do have some ideas, but we haven't quite set out because we're both working women, so we really don't have a lot of time, and even on the weekends, Jenny has school, and I usually have family stuff that I'm helping out with. Hopefully, now that my brother's going to be home, that he can take care of a lot of that, so I can focus more on the podcast.
Mm.
But
Hopefully, if I get my license soon, and I'm starting to drive, I could like get home a bit faster, and
yeah,
I could do stuff after work. So
yeah, and we also both take the bus.
yeah.
And she lives in LA. That takes something that should take 30 minutes takes about 3 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Oh yeah,
but yeah.
yeah. If you go to my Twitter, you'll sometimes occasionally hear me complain about that. Anyways, hopefully we will see you guys in the next podcast. I swear it'll be more structured.
Don't swear anything. People are gonna expect too much of us.
Well, I mean, yeah, but still, it could. Hopefully, it's more structured. And if you hear like some purring, that's my cat. She says hello.
She says hi. Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope you guys have a great 2 weeks. This is going to be bi-weekly. I think we need to. I forgot that we should say this. This is going to be bi-weekly because we have a lot of, as you guys kind of could tell with the Pokemon one, we kind of go into really great detail about each topic.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of what we're hoping we're going to be doing with the podcast from now onwards. And each week it's not going to be the exact same. Like, either we're going to have news stories and the topic, or we're just going to jump right into the topic after we talk about what we did during our weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully by the next time you guys come, it will be, like she said, a little more structured, a little less chaotic. If you guys like the chaotic, then I'm glad. I do too. But we'll try to stay more on topic and not go off too often when it comes to talking about like the questions and stuff like that. So anyway, guys, I hope you have a great rest of your 2 weeks. We'll see you the next time. Jenny, do you have anything you want to tell our cheekies?
Nah, just have a great day and stay safe. Don't party too hard.
Don't party too hard. Don't do what Jenny did in college.
Even at college, like in college, I didn't party that hard, but yeah. But like I said, that's a story for another time.
Yeah, we'll definitely share more stuff. We don't want to overwhelm you guys with info about ourselves, because then we will run out of things to talk about in the future.
All right, we will see you guys next time.
Talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.
Bye.
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 Bye.